Such a big part of our congregation is focused on and centered on mission. And, American Baptist churches are a missional body, just an association of churches who come together, who want to do and make the world a better place. For us, our church is not just by itself here in New Jersey. We're associated with a region, and that region is housed in Rochester, New York. And the region is, actually, there are churches from our region. We're kind of that weird region, as Sandy calls us, that we're located kind of in Rochester, but we have churches all over the place, from Puerto Rico to Florida to California to Nebraska, all over the United States. And this weekend, we celebrated our Mission Summit, which was a virtual event and an in-person event where we came together to talk about what missions our churches are doing, what things God might put on our hearts, and how the churches are going out into the world to make healing and bring about shalom. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. And one of the things that when Sandy, our executive minister, she's in charge of the region, she was here several months ago, and she saw our food pantry. Later on, when we started to talk about the food pantry, and we talked about its growth and how things changed and shaped, and now it's become this large mission, she asked, would you please do a video about that? She said, I'd love to show it at the Mission Summit. And in fact, First Baptist was, and our food pantry, was the genesis of the name for the Mission Summit, and the theme for this year's summit. It all started with a table. So today I'm going to light the candle to help us celebrate and center ourselves getting here. But then after the candle this week, instead of having a meditation to think about, I want to be able to show you that video that was shown to our region last 2 nights ago. So as I think today all we have as far as a candle is just to say, thank you, God.
About 15 years ago, here at First Baptist Morristown, we started a food pantry. It happened through a group called Issues and Actions. One of the items that came up was the food insecurities in Burlington County. Dana Thede brought a newspaper to the meeting, laid it down on the table and said, look at this. There's food insecurities in Burlington County, and we need to do something about it. So a table was set up in our lounge, and people were encouraged to bring canned goods in. Well, it started out with a table similar to this, with items just like this, and it grew. The food started ending up in bags under the table, around the table, and we realized that this was turning into something larger than we had initially expected. Food pantry took over what was once the library in the church, and then it took over another room. And then the food pantry now has grown down to our fellowship hall area. So we continue to address issues and actions in Burlington County, Camden County, and the surrounding areas here in South Jersey. And yeah, it all started with the table.
Our biggest donor is the South Jersey Food Bank. Whole Foods contributes to us, and our guys go and they pick up the food. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning, some of our guys go to a local church in Marlton, and they pick up donations from them. We get donations from the Boy Scout, the Girl Scout, the Friends School, the Mary Roberts School, and South Valley School have what is called Food for All Fridays. The children bring in food. Farmers Against Hunger, they deliver fresh produce. We have a food drive in July and a food drive in August. The local papers have been really helpful in advertising our food drives. We would not be able to operate without all the donors and all the donations that come in. So we've been really blessed.
I'm the shopper. My main job is shopping with the cash donations. The main place I shop is Aldi. They have on the best prices almost always. I also go to BJ's. Some of the main things that we try to stock and I buy on a regular basis: protein, And I also kind of try to coordinate the stock room. We have some of our volunteers are, maybe for lack of a better description, special needs. We get large donations, they help stock.
We have volunteers that are behind the scenes. We have volunteers that are right out with our guests. My job is kind of vetting new volunteers that come. We have a lot of church member volunteers, but we also have from the community.
These people are really important, just as important as anybody else.
When you volunteer, you give part of yourself.
It makes you feel wonderful to be able to help people.
It fills my soul.
Our first stop is you have to sign in. And then you go and you sit down and you wait your turn. So there are two rooms that the clients shop in. One is the produce room, which is this room. So this is our shopping room. This is the second stop where they have canned goods and any refrigerated things that they need. Did you get that?
Yes.
When they come out of the shopping room, we have this chart here, and this is what we have in the freezers, and they get to choose from this.
Well, the opportunity to start the ministry happened when we moved into a new part of the church, Fellowship Hall, and the people who came were able to sit around and have coffee and refreshments while they waited. South Jersey Food Bank provide nutrition counseling once a month.
You just get this feeling that we're all in on it together. It really enforces the thing that it is a community and we are just in life together to take care of each other.
I've been to all the food pantries pretty much in Burlington County and even further. There is only one food pantry that has the social and compassionate volunteers here that give us the most important thing there is in life besides surviving with food and so forth, but their time. And they come over and they sit with us and they talk with us. How much that lifts my spirits. So I can't express enough the healthiness of this food pantry, not by just food, the healthiness of mind, emotion, and physical that they all provide for us through their hearts. And I will be forever grateful for, the rest of my life.
All people here are very kind and really nice to me. Them take care of me very well. I really appreciate that. I don't need food, but I need love for them, and them give me love. That's how. I don't have no daughter no more. She passed away with asthma. And I said, that's why I come here for companionship, not food. I take this food and give to homeless people. Thank you, I love you.
You know, one of the things that I'm most proud of with our volunteers and staff is that they're allowing themselves, when people come into the food pantry, to not just be guests of the food pantry. It's more like they're welcomed as family. It's a testimony to what can happen and the community that can be built when we're intentional and sensitive to where God is leading us. Often I say the food pantry should be called Manna on Main Street because God always provides. Every month we kind of worry about the balance and the bank balance and is there going to be enough to shop for all the people who come? As you know, God does provide. And like manna, it's almost like we're not allowed to save enough for tomorrow to make ourselves feel secure. All of our dependence is on God. You know, we never intended to have a food pantry that feeds hundreds of people a week. As you saw earlier in the video, it started literally as a table, and it just grew through the sensitivity of
committed volunteers who saw a need in the community, responded to that need. And out of that, we're still continuing to grow. We have an opportunity now, through the relationships that we've built in the food pantry, we've discovered that some of our guests who frequent the food pantry are unhoused. So that became an issue and a concern on all of our hearts. After prayerful discernment and many congregational meetings, we've decided to take another step forward in helping the community. And we're going to be turning our parsonage now and repurposing that for empowerment housing for those who are experiencing homelessness. Hopefully it will be a place that people can come if they need something, job training, they can get it. If they need English literacy, they can get it. If they need credit repair, they can get it. And our aim is to help people who are experiencing homelessness to be able to get back on their feet and move into permanent housing. These are all just things that started literally on a table. So if I can encourage anybody today, whatever your ministry is, no matter how small you think it is, I promise you, be faithful to where you're planted. God has big things in store for you. Bloom wherever you are. God bless you.
For everyone born, a place at the table. For everyone born, clean water and bread. Delight when we are creators of justice. Ooh, justice and
Before we go any further with this service, I know that it's so moving and it's such a beautiful testimony to who we are and how many people are involved just in this huge ministry. But over the last few weeks, it took literally weeks and countless hours to put this video together. Thank you to everyone who volunteered to make that happen. Thank you especially to Howard and Dave, who completely put the whole thing together and then made it so viewable. It took our stutters and made them start.